He's working.
Lucasade.
Wow. Wow. All right.
Really? When I was 4, I did the Pledge of Allegiance. Wait, so, Shivan, can you hear me? I can see. Can you hear me? Okay. I think I come in. I think I come in with a delay right now. It's either not because it's either I'm delayed or you're delayed because I'll say something. It doesn't. It's not a problem though. I'm not. I'm not tripping. You've got them. All right. should. The whole, it's yeah, it's 4:30. I can go. It's 4:30 now. I'm up. So it's 4:30, man. I'm already up. No, that would be ideal, but we're the price takers in this situation, right? It's like, wait, hold. Do we have a set of time, or do we have to meet? Like, do I have to worry about a window right now, or what? So, like, okay, I'm ready. I see people coming in. Like from. All right, I'm chilling. All right, we're chilling then. what's up. I mean, it is what it is. All right. All right. Yeah. What you sipping on? Word. Quite a few. How many is that right now? Word. Word. It's military. All right.
1, 2, mic check. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Lions Primary, good afternoon. Melvin Jones, good afternoon. Melvin Jones, good afternoon. Thank you. All right. Let me have your attention, please. Let me have your attention. Some silence is required in the hall. Hello? Hello? Now we are live. We are live on YouTube, as you can see. So I'm going to welcome the principal of Melvin Jones, Mr. Robinson Alianda. Can you put your hands together for Mr. Robinson Alianda?
Thank you very much, Mr. Jode. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jode, once more. Members of the board, fellow heads, Mr. Fanuel Imbusi in the house, Ms. Shital Patel and her crew making this presentation, Nakuru Tech presentation, parents, teachers, and students at large. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once more. This afternoon is a special afternoon. A special in a way because this is a presentation that may, not just may, but will ultimately change the course and the life of quite a number of you seated here this afternoon. We are talking about technology. Technology that's part and parcel of us. Every corner you turn, whether you're doing your shopping, whether you're studying, there's always a component of technology. Started way back in the western part of the world, but finally, in due course, it has hit home. Right in our bedrooms, our living rooms, at whatever space you find yourself in. We've had technology in the US, not just anywhere in the US, but the West Coast, California, Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is technology the way Hollywood is to the filmmaking or movie industry. We've watched movies that are coming from Hollywood. We've also used search engines, whether it's Google, whether it's whatever search engine you use, and you have been amazed by what Google is doing. But we have never had that opportunity of interacting with the people who have been there, seen that, and done that. They have immersed themselves in the projects right down there in the Silicon Valley. Today, we have that opportunity. A while ago, somewhere last year, Miss Shital Patel paid me a courtesy call in my office. And we discussed a wide range of issues. But what popped out mostly is when she mentioned technology. When she mentioned her passion for teaching. Then I realized, wait a minute, VAP, bingo, we are on the same wavelength. We need to discuss more. We need to extend this conversation beyond the time frame that we are in right now. So the communication started between me, as the principal of Melvin Jones Lions Academy, and her, from the other end of the world, the West Coast. It roped in the members of the school management board. And today is a culmination of all those plannings, communication between the school and Miss Shital Patel. Most of you, she's going to break it down, the relationship between her family, and this institution. But for all of you, quite a number who have been here in this institution longer, remember, Miss Shital Patel is the daughter of the late Dr. V.A. Patel, one of the founding members of the Lions Club of Nakuru schools. And it happened, naturally, that Shital Patel is a teacher by profession. She's enthusiastic about education. She's enthusiastic, too, about giving back to the community. And that's why, on Saturday, if I'm not wrong, she started the long journey all the way from California in the U.S. and landed yesterday in Nairobi, and finally, she's here. We are a special kind of people. For someone to take her time, think about us, plan, invest all the resources just to be here today, we don't take that for granted. Let's appreciate Ms. Shital Patel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, the icing on the cake is that she didn't come alone, but she decided to tag along part, if not the entire family. And not just any other member of the family. We have a young man here who has been involved in some changing innovations, tech challenges, competition, not just anywhere, competing with the best in the world. And that's none other than the person who's going to make this presentation. Is within your generation, young boys and girls, but that is Shivan Patel, the son of Ms. Shital Patel. Shivan, kindly, just stand up. Just stand. Let's appreciate Shivan. Thank you, Shivan. Thank you. You may take your seat. He is in the senior high, like our A-levels, year 12, year 13. But the things this young man is doing are just amazing. He will have his time to share with you. The mother will also have the time to officially introduce him, talk more about him. But again, we also have a young lady in the house, the daughter of Ms. Shital Patel, the sister to Shivan Patel, that is Soumya Patel, This young girl, young lady, is the University of Purdue in the state of Indiana in the US. The university where she is currently is the same university that Neil Armstrong went through. Those who have done a bit, know a bit of space science, NASA and all that, space exploration, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Neil Armstrong. Don't be surprised, maybe the desk or the chair that she's sitting on currently, Neil Armstrong might have also sat on the same chair where she is. So ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate Shital Patel. Kindly, Soumya, stand up. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said in my opening lines, the digital highway is the super highway to success. Young boys and girls, they're not shortcuts. Opportunities are opening up day and night in the digital space. You have to be very much aware that you may start a course, first year in university. By the time you are finishing your fourth or third year, the career line is obsolete. You graduate, have the papers, but you don't find a job. But a space where you're going to be guaranteed that you're going to get a job, come what may, is this space of technology, the digital space. That you can take it to the bank. That we will always have opportunities, new opportunities every day. As a school, Lions Club of Nakuru Schools, we are starting in a small way. But if you have these connections, super highway connection, not just within the country, but extending all the way up to the deepest point of the Silicon Valley in the US on the West Coast, this is a step in the right direction. And so, I'll not want to take much of your time, but I'll take this opportunity to introduce the brain behind this, why we are here today. Like I mentioned, she's a friend of the school, my friend, very passionate about teaching. She has taught in the UK before finally going to work and reside in the US with her family. The school is right at the center of her heart. She's giving back to this community. She's extending the legacy of her late father, Dr. V.A. Patel. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Ms. Shital Patel. Ms. Shital.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to see all of you today. Honestly, it's, for me, I came here last year in November. No idea what I can do for the school. But the one thing that honestly just clicked with me was how to bring some technology and innovation into the school. And talking to Mr. Robinson, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself before I introduce Shivan, our son, and Ian. I'd like to start with a small introduction of myself. My name is Shital, and I'm the daughter of Lion Dr. V.A. Patel. My father was a visionary and had huge ambitions beyond just being a doctor. He joined Lionism, I'm guessing in the early 70s. He was a young doctor, and he was energized in doing so much for the community. He also encouraged my mother, Lion Dr. Lata Patel, to start the very first Lioness Club in Nakuru in 1978. That year, both husband and wife were chairman and chairwoman of respective clubs. I was probably about 9 years old when I used to walk with my father from our home to Lions Nursery School building during lunch times. He would check for any building issues and generally check in with the school staff and students. Not long after, he mentioned to us that he's going to build an elementary school, and the land has been bought for it next to Lions Nursery by the Lions Club. Over time, he was engulfed with this construction project and was walking, talking, doing the school project at home. His passion, his commitment, his dedication to making sure all the school construction was going well often made us believe that he should have changed his profession to heading a construction company. But there were those times that we felt that there was no better doctor than him. So compassionate, so caring, always making a difference in the community. It was his motto to serve in every way, any time, day or night. This combination of talent eventually led to bigger things, and his humble world surpassed all expectations from anyone I knew. He worked hard as a line member, a doctor totally devoted to helping the community with no expectations, because he believed that that was his purpose in life. Those lunchtime and evening walks with him to school, often stumbling over construction piles, observing him delegating and perfecting everything at the school had definitely made an impact on me. Although it goes without saying, behind every successful man is a woman. My mother worked very hard in maintaining a working life. She was also a doctor, sacrificing her time and giving my father the opportunity to pursue his goals. It wasn't until he departed in 2007 with a tragic, horrible illness, motor neuron disease, a man who had so much still to do, that I realized that I have to continue his good work. We had just moved to the US and our kids were really little. When Dad passed, I desperately wanted to volunteer locally to honor him and bring his teachings to my world and my family. I became a mentor coach for an organization called Girls for a Change, mentoring high school girls from low-income families to pursue their dream called Girls Learn International, where our goal was to have after-school clubs teaching students about human rights, equality, and helping fund girls in developing countries so they can get an education. Have you heard that saying? America is the land of opportunities. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. Well, that happened to me. My work with this organization gave me the opportunity to attend the United Nations conferences for the UN Secretary General, and also a fun fact. Our organization created a documentary movie called Period, Full Stop, that won an Oscar award. I went to both of these United conferences with my daughter Soumya, who was also a GLI member. And through all this, we also had the good fortune of meeting President Obama. So that all happened to me in my time, in my work. In September last year, I started teaching at the kindergarten to 5th grade in US. And last November, I plucked up the courage to come to Kenya for the first time after my father had departed. I visited your beautiful schools, the dream my father created, and the legacy he still holds in the school. I was so impressed with what I witnessed. And when talking to Mr. Robinson, he mentioned that since I live in the Silicon Valley, and if we could do something for the students relating to the Silicon Valley, that would be a great opportunity for the students. Well, the Silicon Valley, that's where internet, that's where the tech companies, that's where Google is, that's where Facebook is, Apple, Zoom, Uber, you name it. All the small startups, the big startups, they're all in the Silicon Valley. And our house is right in the middle of all of that. So I came back to the US with this in mind and spoke to my son, Shivan. We talked about the tech challenge, something he's going to talk to you about. And many months later, after lots and lots of hard work, we are here. In collaboration with the Tech Challenge directors in the Silicon Valley, we are going to introduce a subject at your school called Engineering and Design. After months of meetings and preparations, we decided to make this trip and see how we, my family, can continue serving the school to follow the path of my father, Shivan and Soumya's grandfather. I say all this because I believe if you are passionate about something, nothing can stop you from achieving your goal. Just do it sincerely and give it your best. I certainly was passionate about making this happen. I wanted to come here. And I made a deal with Mr. Robinson. I'm going to see you here next summer. That was last year. And I am here on this stage talking to you. So at this moment in time, I would also like to say that although they say behind every successful man is a woman, behind my success is also my husband. He has supported me, and he's right now in California. He couldn't come, but his hard work, his grit, is a vision for us to see, and he managed to sell 2 startups as well. Now he works in a big company in the Silicon Valley. And I'm going to now introduce you to Shital Patel and Ian Pierce. Ian is right here. He's live in the US right now. He's going to be doing the presentation with Shivan. And I'm going to give the boys the platform now to talk about what they want to bring to the school. Thank you.
Right now.
All right, Ian, are you ready? Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone.
Sounds good.
As you all know, my name is Shivan. I'm 17 years old. 17? I know. I know. Ian is 17 as well. I go to a school called Bellarmine College Preparatory in California, and I've always been enticed by the idea of engineering since I was young. And I've always enjoyed the freedom to create whatever I want through my imagination, and I hope to one day be an engineer in university. A little bit about myself. I play hockey for Team USA for my country, and I want to receive a scholarship to play in Europe while attending university for engineering. And ultimately, I hope to compete in the 2028 Olympics. But that's the goal. I still have a long way to go. But when I was young, it all started with my love for toys, little bricks called Legos. And the beauty and creativity of building whatever I wanted really enticed me. And it led me down a path of design and engineering, which I will continue to follow. By lower primary school, I was tinkering or taking apart anything I could get my little hands on. A marble run, my dad's computer, any sort of toy car. By the time I was 15, I had created a smart mare. which is a mirror, which there's a screen behind it, and you could put like display, you could put music, whatever you want. By the time I was 16, I created a remote control car using lithium-ion batteries, which broke the Guinness World Record for the longest distance traveled. The idea of creating something new to me what I'm trying to say is this. What inspired me was that there were always more records to break and things to explore and do new. I hope to share my passion with you guys in these next years. Ian, take it away.
Alright. Hi everyone, my name is Ian, and I'm Shaven's close friend and classmate. I have been working through this project alongside him. For my future, I have always been club.
I was too young when my grandfather passed. I don't remember much about him. I've always heard many stories about my grandfather's love and commitment to serve the community through my mom and my grandmother. As my mom mentioned in her speech, there was never a moment in his life where he didn't give back. Last November, when my mom went to Kenya, she came back and told me about the school and how impressed she was with all of you. She told me that she had a talk with the principal, Mr. Robinson, regarding the abundance of engineering opportunities that are present back home in the Silicon Valley. I felt so inspired, and without hesitation, I immediately had an idea, connecting the tech challenge with both schools in Kenya. And soon, the seed sprouted into a real and accomplishable idea. We contacted the Tech Silicon Valley, and they jumped at the idea of helping for your schools. For me, this was the perfect opportunity to display my commitment to continue the legacy of my grandfather, Lion Dr. V.A. Patel, and his fellow Lion friends who have supported us in making this happen.
Part of the mission statement of our high school is to be men for and with others. This statement commands us to be supportive of those around us, to assist people in a way that allows us to utilize what we have for their benefit, and to represent a positive impact on the world. Bellarmine calls us to do good deeds because they matter to us, support people because we truly want to see progress being made in a certain area. With this idea at our backs for more than 3 years now, Shivan and I have constantly thought about ways in which we want to make an impact. Was fear. I thought that there was no way that we would be able to achieve anything remotely within the ballpark of 12th grade level and rigor within an engineering curriculum, or networking with massive companies for grants, or gaining the support of the Tech Challenge staff. Yet I felt it would go in contrast with my own set of beliefs and the values set about by our school's mission statement, not to give it my best effort and to see where it went. Day by day work made it possible, and here we are, with the previously daunting tasks looking more realistic every day. Shaben and I are more excited than ever to collaborate with you all and hopefully help create many opportunities for great memories and learning throughout this pilot program and the curriculum yet to come.
Now I will be talking about my experience doing the Tech Challenge. I competed in the Tech Challenge for 5 years in a row with a team which consisted of 4 people. I first competed in 2015. Unfortunately, my team didn't have much guidance at first, and we barely completed the challenge. And we had little to no structure while doing so. But we had plenty of fun while doing it. The following 3 years consisted of weekends in my teammates' garage, enough failures and setbacks to make our entire team cry, but eventually a confident result. This challenge teaches a person a lot about themselves, especially through teamwork and perseverance. Not every idea will work. In fact, more don't than do. I learned to enjoy failing, as I would not have been able to win judges' favorite and best engineering journal in my final 2 years if I didn't. Our team became well-versed in a strategy called the Stanford Design Thinking Process, a method you will all inevitably memorize by the time this challenge comes to an end. I could confidently say that this process was the singular key to our success. It allows us to utilize our creativity to the best of our ability while maintaining organization and equity amongst ourselves. Every person's ideas were valued regardless of the result. I can assuredly say that as a student and aspiring engineer, this challenge taught me valuable skills, all of which can be used in an educational or work environment. The challenge itself will take place over a span of 2 days. The challenge consists of 2 parts. First, the teams will present their engineering journal to a judge who will fill out a rubric and grade based on depth and organization. Next, the teams will test their products, and the grading will be based on 2 pieces of criteria: completion and efficiency. Here's an example video of the 2015 Tech Challenge taking place. Now, this Tech Challenge was, you had to create a structure.
Welcome to the 28th annual.
In this Tech Challenge, the 2015 Tech Challenge, you had to create a structure which could survive 3 earthquakes. One was a magnitude 3, one was a magnitude 6, and one was a magnitude 9. So the table would shake, and you have to try to not let your building fall. So this is a video.
Tech Challenge. The Tech Challenge is a signature program of the Tech Museum of Innovation. It's an annual team design challenge for students in grades 4 through 12 that introduces and reinforces the engineering design process with a hands-on project geared towards solving a real-world problem. This year's challenge, build a structure that can withstand 3 earthquakes.
I think the Tech Challenge, the coolest part about it is that they just allow kids to do extremely inventive and creative things that normally other people in other places probably wouldn't allow them to do.
The Tech Challenge is the greatest day at the Tech Museum. And it's because we get to watch the mission of our organization embodied in the work that these kids do.
We learn that the most important thing in a project is not that you have the best materials or you're number 1, but that you work together.
We wanted to make a base isolator, and so for that we used ping pong balls because they were sturdy and really light.
My favorite part of Tech Challenge was that I can help everyone not to get hurt and everyone to be safe.
I think that it's also a good opportunity to learn about the engineering process and to open up our minds to the engineering field.
The coolest part was being able to adapt and seeing how the team worked together.
They're so poised and they're so wonderful in terms of how they approach their project. They're skilled, they are ready, and they're going to be wonderful workers for the future.
Duct tape was our best friend when it comes to this project.
As all of you know, you do an incredible amount of work to do Tech Challenge. You write journals, you draw pictures, you track your progress, you do tests, you make prototypes, you change your stuff around so that
All right, so you guys get it. You guys understand. You watched the video. Ian.
All right. So some of you may be wondering exactly what the tech and the tech challenge are. Essentially, the tech challenge is a smaller aspect of tech. The tech is a world leader in the creation of immersive STEM education resources to develop the next generation of problem solvers locally, nationally, and globally. They believe that everyone is a born innovator who can change the world for the better, and they are driven by that mission to inspire the innovator in everyone. The Tech Challenge is a signature program of the Tech that invites teams of students in grades 4 through 12 to use the engineering design process to solve a real-world problem. Participants will spend months collaborating and becoming deeply engaged in the challenge while documenting their progress and designs. Now, we would like to talk about the core outcomes that we hope to achieve through the creation of this curriculum. Perhaps the most important core outcome is the creation of an environment that puts students in a different way. We want this to seem less like a series of classes and tests and more of an area where you're able to think and express yourself. We understand that it is very easy to get trapped in the day-to-day monotony of normal classes. The feeling of simply trying to learn enough information to pass a test or get a good grade. That's why we want to devote plenty of the time we have to you freely working on your own. In those moments where you're in your own groups, away from us and the teachers, we hope to see great moments of collaboration, trial and error, and a drive to win. With regards to that last part, we do want to encourage an environment of friendly competition within the students. Although it is a challenge that everyone can pass, there will be a set of criteria by which the judges assess who really went above and beyond in the competition. This is another way in which we want to stray from the typical classroom. Shivita and I both know what it is like to be in a class that we aren't invested in, and how hard it is to put effort into it. And we are also both familiar with the positive effect of a little competition and how that can be extremely invigorating and encouraging. We believe that by allowing the students to get competitive with one another, we will see the greatest results in terms of the final output of the challenge. And that really is the end goal. Competition, instruction periods, and time for experimentation are all designed for the intended effect of creating absolutely fantastic engineers that will design next level products and complete the challenge with flying colors. We hope to see that pursuit and excitement building all year, and especially that pride next summer when the challenge begins. Now, you are all probably tired of hearing what we want to see happen. I'm concerned with what you're going to court. The first response I would have to that is simply access. Shivita and I have both grown up in a unique area where businesses like the Tech hold challenges like these throughout the year. Due to the situation, showing the benefits that come for students having an access to an area where they can express their passion for innovation and the desire to create. That is the benefit that we see in this class, and that is why we are determined and motivated to bring it to you all. Besides just access to a new area to express, we also hope that this can serve as a way to kickstart the minds of all future engineers out there. I'll be honest, if you asked me when I was even as old as 15 what an engineer did, I wouldn't have been able to produce an intelligent answer. Because engineering can be an extremely difficult job to understand, we think that there is incredible value in exposing you all to the type of work and thinking that goes into a field as diverse, demanding, and rewarding as engineering. Ultimately, we hope that this will be an experience that you look back on as being rewarding, regardless of which field you hope to go into. Regardless of what you want to do when you are older, there will be times when you have to fall back on your ability to communicate and work with others, to try out new ideas, and learn from failure. Also, for those of you that create some immensely impressive feats of engineering, we hope that you can go into your summer break with at least boasting right, something worth putting on your CV, and perhaps a reward for your success. Thank you.
I know it was a little tough to hear, Ian. I'll summarize a bit of what he just said. So this class is meant to be fun. Engineering is meant to be fun. This class that we're going to introduce will have time, and we'll have time for you guys to be creative in whatever you want to do. You guys can finish this challenge however you guys want. And there will be rewards for the winners. So if you guys are willing to put in the time, there will be a great result. All right, now everyone, let's talk about the curriculum itself. Or the class you guys will take, and the process each student will go through during the course of the year. The program will start in January and end in June, allowing this class to take place for around half of the school year. A class called Engineering and Design will be instituted in your school curriculum, taking place for 2 hours each week. The first term of this course will take place from January to March and will be 13 weeks long, which is 26 hours of work. The first term will be focused on the foundation of knowledge regarding the challenge itself. In this stage, the students will start writing in their engineering journals, which is a key factor of the judging for the challenge itself. For the 7th and 8th graders, the Tech Challenge is created a 5-course class that the students will take. The 9th through 12th graders will take a 6-unit class created by Ian and I, with the help of a team of math and physics teachers from our school. Both curricula will focus on the math and physics of the challenge taking place that year. This brings us to the second part of the curriculum, the design and experimentation phase. By the way, this phase will begin before the break from school in April so that the students don't have a long period of time in between instruction, also allowing the students to use their break to research and design at their own discretion. This term will be from May to June, which is 9 weeks, totaling in 18 hours of experimentation. This phase, which will take place after the students complete all 6 units, will give the students an opportunity to use their newly learned knowledge and any research they wish to start their prototypes. Furthermore, the students will continue to draw and brainstorm in their engineering journal. We want the kids to be able to be largely independent at the end of the year as they focus on trial and error and experimentation. Each student will work through an important process known as the Stanford Design Thinking process, which will act as a crucial step for a higher form of learning during this curriculum and challenge. This challenge itself will take place in June, soon after the design and experiment phase is over. By this time, the students should have designed and manufactured their products and engineering journals, all of which will be judged by select personnel, briefed on the requirements and rubrics needed to evaluate. We would like to see the program eventually develop into a full-scale engineering and design class by utilizing some of the other challenges provided by the Tech Challenge. Ideally, we would like to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of this year's pilot program in order to assess where we could flesh out the class out more in order to take up a year's worth of instruction. We hope to see creative and unique products from each and every one of you, and may the best devices succeed. Before we start questions, here's a small introduction of our Tech Challenge representatives, Leah and Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby Longcore, Senior Director of the Tech Challenge.
And I'm Leah Coldwin, Program Manager for the Tech Challenge.
We're super excited to help bring the Tech Challenge to all of you.
Every year we create a new engineering design challenge, and youth like yourselves build working solutions to meet the challenge.
We love seeing all the creative and amazing solutions that students come up with.
A big part of what makes the Tech Challenge special is seeing students learn, discover, and gain new skills.
Siobhan and Ian are going to tell you all about it. We hope after hearing from them, you get as excited about the Tech Challenge as we are.
All right, so I know there was a lot of information thrown at you in a little amount of time, and the quality was not the best. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. And if you don't have any right now, but you will have some, we made an email account which will be given to Mr. Robinson, and he could spread that out. It's nakurutechchallenge@gmail.com. But please raise your hand if you have any questions at the moment. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Wow, thank you. At least all of you are still awake. Did you all understand what we are trying to introduce to the school as a new curriculum or as an extracurricular activity? Wow. So if I ask somebody to come and say something, would you be able to come and say, are you excited or you're not excited? Do you want to be part of this tech challenge? Yes? Can you put your hands up so we can know if you're all excited for this new program that we're introducing? Oh, wow, that's interesting. Mr. Robinson and Mr. Mbusi, we have the future engineers and scientists of Kenya, Nakuru. All right, so basically, this was an introduction of what we want. Yes, please, silence, thank you. This is the start of what we will be introducing to you. We will be sharing more information to everybody. Basically, we cannot tell you what the tech challenge is, otherwise you'll cheat and will not be able to, get the winners out of it. But what we want is when we start implementing this program, we are mentoring you, we are preparing you to become engineers or whatever field in the science field you want to go into. And we must be very thankful to Shital, Shiven, Ian and Soumya to have come all the way from the United States. Doing this? No. So I think we need to give them a very big round of applause. Just imagine, because of them, we are widening our horizons, and the future for us is now even brighter because a lot of your engineers and scientists will be, we may be able to get you universities or something in the States for you to go to. So if you perform well, you never know where your future will take you. Shital would like to say a few words.
So, just kind of, I know it's a lot of information for you. And of course, we were trying to work with the Wi-Fi and the presentation today. We just flew in from America last night, and we drove this morning from Nairobi to Nakuru. So we've literally come here to help set them up. But I want to tell you a couple of things, and you please need to listen to this. All your ears have to be here when I have to say this, because this is really important, okay? We are going to train the teachers from September to December. It needs a special kind of training to teach the teachers how to teach this program to you. So we will do that from September to December. In January, we will implement this program in the school, and you will start learning about this. By March or April, you will start creating the challenge given to you. You'll be in 4 or 5 teams of 4 or 5, and you're going to, on one day in June, you're going to present your challenge. You're going to have judges talking to you, asking you all sorts of questions. So you need to know every little detail about how you have made this. Then you're going to ask, well, what do we use? How are we going to get our materials? What are we going to use? Did you see the video? Did they have any fancy materials? Did they go and buy some expensive stuff from somewhere? They were using cardboards. They were using paper, cones. They were using simple things from your house. This idea, this whole thing is to teach you to be creative. And the challenge has got restrictions. It's got weight restrictions. It's got height restrictions. It's got all sorts of restrictions. You have to, as a team, work together to create your model. So on the day of the challenge, when you have made your teams and you come forward to present your challenge to the judges, and you put your model and you start working it, don't be disheartened if it doesn't work. The whole process is what's important. You will get so much learning from this. I made some notes, and I was going to share it with Mr. Robinson, but I'm going to share it with you. Okay? We live in the 21st century skill set, and although all of you are amazing students academically, there's an area in your mind that sometimes needs to open up. And maybe you haven't had that experience, the critical thinking. It's called exponential learning, hands-on learning. Okay? This project, we're basing it on, has anyone heard of Stanford University? Put your hand up if you've heard of Stanford University. Our house is 15 minutes from Stanford University. That's where I live. The Stanford design engineering thinking process is what you are going to learn. And you're going to use the curriculum. Shivan and his friend Ian are designing the 9th to 12th curriculum. The curriculum for the younger ones is already designed. But there's going to be a lot of physics, a lot of science, a lot of math. You're going to ask 101 questions, and there's never a wrong question. There's never a bad question. Every question you ask is important. So you will have to keep on asking your questions. So then, you're going to brainstorm ways of creating your device. You know what that does? You're working with real-life models. So the challenge that Shivan has done, this last 5 challenges they've done, they'll say, create, like this one you saw, create an earthquake-proof building that can sustain a 3, 6, or 9 Richter scale. But we're not saying make it a big building. We're saying it has to be by 6 foot tall. It has to have this much weight. It has to be this. It has to be that. They'll give you all the restrictions. But you have to sit there now thinking about creating it. So when you work with your team, you're working together as a team. Each of you will delegate ideas to each other. You will meet together. It doesn't have to be in school. You can meet outside during your lunchtime. You can meet in recess. Shivan used to have special times that we used to work together as a team. You can cut wood. You can use all sorts of things. We will provide what is needed for you. So you don't have to do this at home alone. Use your school resources, and we will help provide that. You know, you will become innovators and creators of your own masterpiece. Okay? You will be presenting this to the judges. And you know what? These are not ordinary judges. These are people who are going to come from the tech companies, from Nairobi, from Google, from Amazon. They're going to come. They'll be trained. And like that, you're going to meet people from other tech companies who have been trained to come as judges over here. So it's not a small thing. It's not something that you're just going to make into your home. You have to put all your heart and effort into it. Then there's what I'm really passionate about. I've always felt, and maybe it's a me feeling, that some girls, or generally girls, are fearful of science and math. And maybe not. Maybe it's different for all of you. But I really want the girls to shine as well. You really can become engineers doing this. Your mind can become into engineers doing this from your age. So when you decide that you want to go into the college you want to go, and you want to do mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer engineering, any kind of engineering, you've learned a little bit of it along the way. And the students who are going to apply for the colleges, okay, you get a global platform when applying to colleges, especially into the US and other countries. You can get scholarships. If you mention the Tech Challenge and you mention that you were winners of it, even in a small town, you're not a town, you're a city, by the way, Nakuru City. It will shine out on that application form that there's a town or there's a city in Kenya that's doing this, and they've used the Stanford engineering design thinking process. You can become the change makers in your family. You will be the one going over and doing this in your colleges. So don't take this as a small little thing. It is not. We in the US are going to put all our heart and effort into it. We're going to get sponsors from the tech companies, where my next job is to meet with the tech companies in Nairobi and talk to them and try and get some sponsorships from them, invite them over. You can talk to them. You can even do internships with them later on. You build your relationship. It's you. It's not us. We're just a tool providing to you. You take the initiative to do this. Okay? And the last thing that I want to say is, again, like I said, there's an engineer in all of you, in every single one of you. Do not be scared to fail. If you fail once, you try again. You fail again, you try again. You fail 3 times, doesn't matter. 100 times, doesn't matter. It is the process. You've created an engineering journal. You're going to write your notes down. You're going to work as a team. These are real life things that you're going to experience. So at this stage now, I'm going to stop talking, but I wanted to make sure you all understand what this is about. Put your hand up now if you really are understanding what I'm talking about. Melvin Jones, students in the back, are you understanding what we're talking about? You get it? Are there any questions from anyone for Shivan? No? Yes.
When we're given the tech challenge, are you allowed to consult somebody else apart the people in the group?
You can research whoever you want, but you'll be working in teams. So you'll have your team of 4, but you can do whatever research you want. You can reach out to whoever you'd like. I recommend it. But it's a competition at the end of the day. You can talk to your friends, sure, but Are you going to tell them what you're going to do to win? You going to let them steal that? No, right? So, at the end of the day, it's a competition, but you can reach out to whoever you like. And do whatever research you like as well. Good question, good question.
The question was, when you're working, are you allowed to talk to others? Or how do you work as a team? Are you allowed? How are you going to do your work for this challenge? We're living in a life of internet. You can go Google search. You can think beyond, learn your physics, learn your science, learn how certain things move. I don't know, the motion and all the different little bits that you're going to learn in science will come into play. So that's a really good question. But you work as a team. And although Shiven says it's a competition, and would you let your other team members know? But, I am a strong believer of it's okay. You don't need to tell them everything. But if there's an idea that someone wants to know, you can maybe share a little bit of it. I'm a believer of that. He's a little different in that. Anyone else has a question? That was a great question, by the way. Any more questions? Okay. So I'm going to ask Mr. Robinson. I have brought an engineering journal that Shiven has won in the Tech Challenge. We're going to keep a copy here as a reference. You can have a look at, this is a winning engineering journal. His team won the engineering journal, which is actually the most difficult part to win in a Tech Challenge 3 years in a row out of 800 competitors. So I will leave one copy of it with Mr. Robinson. You can reference that. You can see the kind of notes that they took, the pictures that they put in there. Everything is available here for you to do. You don't have to go into thinking about how complicated it is. Just go simple and build on it. And I think that's it. I'm going to give the mic back to Mr. Robinson.
Good evening once more. It's afternoon, not evening anyway, sorry. Now, we're almost coming to the end of this function. But like I said in my opening remarks, we are a special kind of people. And it's even exciting and amazing that a 17-year-old far away on the west coast of the US can sit down with his friends and design a curriculum. We are looking at a new generation that is not just ready to imbibe whatever they're given, but they're challenging the status quo. That this is what we know, but we want to know it in our own way. If this was coming from a teacher, old teachers like us, it would have been very easy for you, young, to dismiss anyway. You people know so much because of your age. But this is coming from someone, Shiven, a 17-year-old within your generation. It is a challenge to you, young boys and girls. There is someone seated here and thinking, wait a minute, I've got no business to do with that. I'm not into engineering, I'm not into science, I'm not into mathematics. But, as we are taught by COVID-19 pandemic, you need technology, IT in all aspects of our life. You could see even lawyers struggling to file cases online, some of them not knowing even they're online, okay? Maybe brushing their teeth, and the session is going on. So technology is cutting every facet of our life. And as you are, you need to upskill. You need to get those skills right at your fingertips. So whether you're going to pursue STEM courses or not, this session is very, very important. Research is cutting across all fields. It doesn't matter whether you're doing art courses, humanities, you'll be always be tasked to do a project that's going to involve research. So it's important that at this particular moment, you get those skills right. When you have the right skills, you can survive any form of turbulence. One time, someone who owns a private plane, the plane developed mechanical breakdown. And so he was looking for a mechanic, someone who can fix, an engineer who can fix that plane. He tried, because as the owner of the plane, he had some basics on how to maintain and repair the plane. But this time, things did not pan out as he anticipated. He tried to figure out the problem. It's not coming to the fore. And so he contacted someone that had been referred to. He got the person to come and fix the plane. When that person came to fix that particular plane, he took a simple hammer and knocked on the plane, and vap, the plane was off the ground. Now, when the person who repaired this plane filed the bill, he wants to be paid $100,000 US. So the owner of the plane protested, no, it can't be, it can't be. You just took a simple hammer and knocked somewhere, and the plane was off. Why? Justify this bill. You know the response from the mechanic? Yes. Break down the cost. He said, the cost of that simple hammer is only $2. The rest now is the skill of knowing where to knock. You can have a hammer, but knowing where to knock is the difference. So young boys and girls, we want to know. We might not predict the future, but you want to be armed with the skills from the first world brought to you today to conquer whatever challenges that you are going to encounter in future. And so, to bring this one to a close, I'll take this opportunity first of all to thank the school management board through the chairman, Lena Neil Walia, for making this happen. That is a good gesture. It shows the vibrancy, the openness of our Lions Club of Nakuru schools, that any idea that is floated from whatever quarter, we can impress and see how practical that idea is. And that's what we are doing right now. I also take this opportunity to thank Shital, of course. Like I said, when she mentioned Silicon Valley somewhere back in November, and we're having this discussion in my office, I felt, wow, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I was filled by that enthusiasm to feel that this is an idea worth trying and exploring. So Shital, we appreciate you this afternoon. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Shital. Thank you. Thank you. And you, the chair, I know some of you have already closed school from our sister school, Lions Primary. Melvin Jones, those who have just finished your exams, but you spared a bit of your minutes to come and listen to this presentation. Appreciate yourself. And, of course, the man or the boy, I don't know how you want me to call it, the man or the boy or the boys of the moment, one online, the other one physically here, of course, this afternoon belongs to them. So, uproariously, I want you to give a thunderous applause to none other than Shital Patel. And he may not hear, but let's also appreciate Ian, wherever he is on the west coast of the U.S., California. Let's appreciate Ian, all of us. Thank you, thank you. And the tech people, our local tech people, professionals in charge of these systems, seated here. Social media, YouTube, we've been live, by the way, courtesy of them. We appreciate their presence too. Let's appreciate them. William and his group. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, to all the teachers, Mr. Ojode, my deputy in Melvin Jones Lions Academy, for organizing this seating arrangement in the hall. The parents in the house, whether you are a parent to Lions Primary or Melvin Jones Lions Academy, let us appreciate all of them. Thank you. In due course, as shared by Ms. Shital Patel, we'll be breaking down the nuts and bolts and be communicating to you what this tech challenge is all about. Thank you very much all. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Melvin Jones Lions Academy. God bless Lions Academy. God bless Lions Club of Nakuru. Thank you very much. And so, in order, I'll start by releasing our parents. If they may be in the house, parents, kindly, you are free to leave. The teachers next. Students, wait for the parents and the teachers to leave first. Okay, next student in order. A special request, Shivens wants to take a photo with all the students in the house. I don't know how possible that is, but you can form an arc. You can form an arc around him. Kindly put your chairs on the sides. Put your chairs on the side. Create some space in between here. Stack the chairs on top of each other. Stack the chairs on the sides. Stack the chairs on the sides. Students, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't make a move. Come closer to where Shiveni is standing. He's tall enough, you can see him. Come closer. Swale. Come closer. Mahir, Gabriel. Come closer. Hanan, come closer. Bria, closer. Angel. Mr. George, can you tell them to come closer? More smiles. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Smiles. Show some happiness. Yeah, go for it, go. Yeah, that's better. From the back. All of you, hands up. Hands up like you're but hands up. Throw your hands to the air. If you're happy, throw your hands up. Wave to the drone, show your hands. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it. Go. Hey, careful. Around Shiven, careful. Okay, you are free to leave the hall now.